Right. Okay. So the aim of today is to talk through the new website and also the web page creator and how they fit together, and also to go into a little bit more detail than we have in the past. And I want to try and make it as interactive as possible. So please stop me and questions and whenever you want to. And let's. So what I'll do is to walk through it all, and then you can let me know if you want to go off in another direction. Then just give us a shout. Right. So we'll start and have a look at the website. Okay, so hopefully you can all see pretty much a blank screen, but with the blue menu line.
Yeah.
So this is the base point. This is pretty much where you can start, and you can then build from there whatever you want to have. So what we got is the menu line, which some of these items are absolutely mandatory, which we can't do without, like logging in, a home page, a group list, forgotten password, as you obviously will need if you can't get in, and that's largely it. There are no other mandatory pages that you need to have. Everything else you can switch on and switch off. So even join IU3A or a contact us button, or even the use of help, you can switch those off and not have them. So right, okay, let's have a look at this. Let's just walk through the navigation between the two systems. The admin, I call it the admin system, the member system. I think some people have already started calling it something else, but just for the sake of consistency, I'll carry on doing that for the moment. So there are two main things really. If you are a member and without any authority levels at all, then you will always come to this. This effectively will be your home page, whatever you choose it to be, and you will use the your domain name. So by putting your domain name, whatever the domain name is, .org.uk, that will that's the one you've always used, and it will know that you are not signed in. If you're not signed in, you'll always come to this point first. Member or administrator or whatever. If you aren't signed in, it will come to here.
Chris, we've somehow switched to the logged in page.
Yes, I've gone to the logged in page. Yes.
Oh right, okay.
Okay, so it's just I haven't got anything on the other one's a blank page at the moment, so I thought I'd have something here. But so you will come in. So just to correct, then you'll actually come back to this page, which is your home page, and you don't need to use. It is using a slightly different domain name, but you don't need to use that. You just use your ordinary domain name and whatever you use to go into the old system. So people who've got bookmarked pages from before will always go to the old system and get transferred into here. So this is where it'll be. So once you have logged in, then you get this personal column, the personal menu and sub menu, and And in there, if you are a administrator or anybody with an authority level, you will get this admin site link. If you're not, you don't get it. And if you don't get that, there is no way that you can get into the admin site. So if I go across to there, this is the old site. This is now the admin site, and I get this because I'm an administrator. Now, if you are, if you do have the authority level and get into here, then you will stay in here if you are sort of clicking any of the items here. So you will stay in this site until you go and use this link, the members site link here, which is something that you set up in your side menu, and you click on that, and then that will take you back into the new members site, and you will stay in there until you ask to go back to the admin site again. So that's the sort of basic in which you can go to and fro, but as I say, no, ordinary members stay here all the time. And so and the items that you set up in the on the admin site, you're setting up to include those items here, like my program, my payments, or whatever you decide to have. You set it up in the admin site, but it's shown here. Right. Okay. So just one other quick point. If you once you decide to version 14.3 is the first version that has this site, and which you can use and carry on using in the way you are in the past with the admin site and the old mobile site, and you can carry on using that for as long as you like. But when you decide to go live with this site here, you obviously will not want to use the mobile site again. The default will be to use this one, because this has the same things in terms of being able to view it on a phone or on a tablet or on a standard laptop or a desktop. So when that happens, it could be that people have bookmarked various links with the old mobile links in them, and we won't want people to go back to the mobile site. So if you let me know, then what I will do is then put what they call a redirect, which means that if anybody goes into something mobile dot whatever your domain name is, it will automatically transfer them to here onto this site. So so let me know if that happens. Right. Okay. So let's just briefly have a look at how you switch those on, and that it is in systems details here, and you've got a link which basically is called use mobile site, and you've got three options in here: the members site, the mobile site, which is probably where you may be at the moment, or no secondary site, which means that you're not using any form of, you're not using mobile or members at the moment, and so you're just using the standard system, the admin system as it's called now, and you pick one of those, whichever you want, and that's the way. When you're ready to use the new member site, you just select member site, and that's enough, and that'll switch it on. So there are additional things that have now available to you. There's, from before there was only 12 additional web pages, there are now 20, and you may want to pick those up. At the moment, they won't be sitting in your system's details, and so as just as a reminder, if there's any of the parameters that you're not using at the moment and you want to use them, you use the section list here, and in there you then add any new parameters you want to have in that particular section, just clicking on there and then okaying it like so. And so the items that will fit in the standard group settings section will be the ones that are shown here. So if we go back to that standard groups there, and we go into systems details, they are here in this section here. So any of the new parameters, you just bring them across if you want them. So you probably find actually that the mobile one will not be there on your live system when you go live, and you might have to go and get that one from the using the section list. Right. Okay. So that's a sort of brief sort of introduction to the new site. And now I think we sort of move on and look at the website creator. Everybody happy with that? Any questions?
It's a quick one, Chris. It's Eugene. The extra.
Sorry, just can't hear.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
It's Eugene. The additional pages, the up to 20. Are they available only on the new site? If we don't switch it on, are they available in the old?
Yeah, they are available in the old site as well. Yes, they're available in 14.3 at the moment. So even if you haven't switched it on, you can still use them. Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Right. Okay. So let's have a look at the website creator. So when you go into the website creator, then you will the front page here is a list of what you create here is a list of web pages. They're not necessarily linked to any web page in your system at this stage. So it's only when you've created the page and then you decide you want to make it part of the home page or an additional page or whatever, then that's when you link them together and they become they are then used in the website. But what you do here is only seen here, and this is available to the administrator, the secretary, and the content authority. So I don't think this anybody else can view the website creator at the moment. So if you want somebody to do it, then you have to give them probably the content authority to actually access this. If you have, but only the administrator can make a page live. So someone with content can actually create the page, and we'll do one in a minute. But they don't have this bit here, so they can't then load them up into the system. But that's part of the administrator's role. Right. Okay. So let's create a page. Now let's call it summer fair. Right. So it is here, and at the moment it consists of nothing. There are no parts to it, and so it shows here as 0. So you can't view the web page because there's nothing to see. So right, so when you want to start creating a page, you now go in. So we're now into the some of their web page. There's nothing here at the moment. So the first, I think we've talked before about the web page consists of a number of blocks, and so we will create the blocks here, and each block can be a number of columns. So let's just start creating a block to start with.
Chris?
Yes.
Is it possible to move sequence to above block description? So you number the block before you title the block itself? Because when I was creating my test page and such like, you know, I'd forgotten, you know, and it was getting mixed up. So would it be possible? Because it seems to be quite natural to number a block and then do the description.
Right. Yes. Okay. Okay. I don't see any reason why not. There's a minor change if that helps.
Yeah. You can after you've created it, you can actually go in and renumber them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it just initially.
But if you don't give it a number, they all come up as 0. So at that point, you can then decide which order you want them to go in, and you can then go 5, 10, 15, 20, or 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want to be that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
If you could just send me an email and then about that. That was
okay.
Yeah.
Will do.
Right. Okay. So what we're to start off and just put a ticker tape at the top of the page. That's probably the best place to have it. So I've just inserted one. I've just made it sequence 5. It doesn't make any difference. There's only one at the moment. So and what I want to do is to create a ticker tape which goes across the whole of the page. So here are the blocks and things. So to do this, I only need one column, and I don't need a heading. One column, which will be 100% wide. I don't need a column heading, which we'll come to later. I just need a text item, and the text item, something like. I'm just inventing this. Oh, right. And the one thing I've got to do is to click the item here to make it a ticker tape, and then I've got to decide the color and the background color. So for the moment, I'll just leave it. The options you've got for color, black or white, and obviously as far as a background color for the ticker, if you have one. Actually, maybe I'll just have it black on a white to start with. So
would it be possible to have a choice of colors? Because if you choose a non-white background, black doesn't always show very well. Neither does white.
Well, is that something that you come across as a problem?
Well, yeah. Some of the flavors of colors, a different color for the text would show up better. For example, if you had a blue background, dark blue background, white shows up, yellow shows up extremely well.
Right. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. So we'll probably, if we did that, then we'd probably just restrict it to a certain number of colors. Then at the moment it's black and white. We could probably put maybe 3 or 4 other ones in? You think that would suffice?
Yeah.
Probably black, white, yellow, blue, and red. Something like that, Chris, would be enough.
Blue, red, green,
Mm.
yellow, black, white, something like that. Okay. Yeah?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Fine. Right. Okay. For the moment, we'll just make it black on white, and that is simple. So that's a very simple one. So you can see below here, it's still looking at what it looked like when we started. But if you click the update button, the ticker tape doesn't actually show as a ticker tape at this stage, but it shows you what it would look like, but it's stationary at the moment. So we've done with that. We'll go back to. So we've created our first block. So in this summer fair item. So let's create another one. Click on the blue cross. So this will be number 10. What should we call it? Right. That doesn't matter what you call it. Text 1. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna include an image in this one, and before you start creating the web page, you need to make certain that the image you want to use is in the images section in systems details. So if we just go to images a minute. Right. So I created a few images here, which happen to be 101, 102, 103, and 104. So you can see that they're all numbered with these numbers. These numbers are done. The system allocates the number, but you need to just remember which ones are which when you want to include them. So I'm going to include number 2, 102. So go back to the web page creator. Back into the summer fair. Right, so I'm going to put lot 1. So this time I'm going to have 2 columns, one with an image in and one with some text in. So let's start off. Let's not have a main heading. We've got 2 items, and start off and just make them 50-50 and see how that looks. You can play around with this afterwards when. So we won't bother with a heading on the first one. We'll just have a text item here, and we'll put in this to start with. Right, so it will go in at a default text size, which you may or may not want to do. You can change the size of the font here, but remember to highlight it first. So let's do that and make it, I don't know, 14. And we're going to have it as black. Let's just put it on a very, very light color to start with. And then column 2, no heading for the moment. Might come back later. Sorry? Oh, okay. So I've selected an image, and now at the moment it's got a default image set up in here, which is that square red block, which you don't want. So we said we're going to use, by clicking on there, it opens up all the images and we're going to go with image 102. I won't put anything else in the slides at the moment, and so I'll just...
Where Chris has made that image 102 come up, we don't actually see the drop down, Chris, but you get a list of all of the images in your image library.
Yes, right, okay. So there we are. So I'm hitting the update now. You can see that image there. It's nothing really to do with the thing, but it's just something you might want to put in there. And I put it on this sort of light blue sort of background. So it probably could do with a heading here. So you have an option really with headings. You can either put a heading in. You can obviously put a heading overall if you want to, which is the block heading, which I'm not sure is probably relevant here. You can put a column heading in, so we might well put a column on top of the text. I don't know, whatever. And then update. And so if you do it that way, you end up with the heading outside the background, which you may or may not want. Alternatively, you can take it out of there. You can put it in your text. And then probably make it bold. Nope, I didn't highlight it. Make it bold and make it 18 point. And then update it. And now now you've got the background inside the heading. So it's up to you how you do it. So right, okay. So we've done that page there. So let's return. And so now we've got two sections. So if we go back to the item here, we can look at it as it looks at the moment. By view, we're back at the summer fair. So click on here to get the, and it shows largely what it's going to look like. That's there to help you. It's just a new page that opens, and if you want to go back to your original place, you just close the tab and it'll come back to there. So
Chris, we stayed on the same tab. We didn't switch to the preview.
Okay, sorry, I'll do it again then. Thank you. Via the web page. You've got that now, have you?
Yeah.
You can see Summer Fair web page, close tab to return to the website creator.
Yeah.
So it's showing there what the full width page will look like. But it's just again there just to help. If you don't want that, then so then go back to the Summer Fair. So now if we wanted to actually see it as an item in the website, you do that here by selecting the page in the website you want to update. So let's put that into additional page 16. So that's now in 16. So I don't think 16 is already been set up. So you have to go to the side menu. I tell you what, we'll put it right at the top. Page 16. We'll call it date. So that's made it available in the in the side menu here. So you can see it in the. No, you can't. No, you can't see it in there at this stage because I haven't switched it on the in the horizontal menu. So 16. It's not shown. So we'll show it in information for everybody. So this is what you've got to do if you want to make a new page is put it in the horizontal menu as shown and where you want it to be shown. So and then if you're having it in the mobile in the members site, then you decide which column you want to which submenu you want to have it in, and I've put it in the information one.
It's a little bit confusing on that page because you've 2 lines down. You've got summer fair, additional page 18. Is that something you did earlier?
Yes, it's something I've done earlier. Yes. I can see why it's confusing. I'll turn it off. And so, yes, right. Okay. So we can see it here on the administrators one, but the administrator's site is fixed width and doesn't change if you change the width of the site, whereas the member site does depend. So now I'm back in the back on the members site now. So I think I put in the information one. I think, didn't I? Well, sure, I made it available.
Just a refresh.
You're not still logged in as yourself, are you?
I'm logged in, yes, yeah, but that's okay. I can see, you always, if you ever want to know if you're logged in or not, you'll have the personal column, and at the bottom it'll say who's actually logged in. So, right, okay.
Not a refresh.
I've done something wrong there.
I didn't see you assign it to a menu, either information or activities, Chris. I didn't see you do that anywhere.
Well, okay, let's go back and do it again. Let's just go back and check through it. So, first of all, let's have a look. It's on the side menu. Page. It's called Summer Fair. Sequence naught. Let's just give it a nod, and it's live, so it's definitely there. It's definitely there. So maybe it's in something I've done in the horizontal menu. I'm sure I exported that.
It's because it's called image from G drive. It's not called Summer Fair.
Well, let's have a look. Was it? I don't think it was sitting in there as image from G drive even. So, was it?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Right. Well done. Thank you very much. Right.
You basically got to rename it, Chris, in the update side menu.
Right. Okay. So what we have here now is the 2 bits we've done so far, and we've got the ticker tape. Well, clearly that ticker tape's not big enough, so I need to go and change the text and make that a larger one, and maybe I put a different background on that. Then I've got the image here, and I've got the text. Now that doesn't look too bad at the moment, but the problem is that you can get, if you have a widescreen, it doesn't make it look, that can look a bit silly. And also if you have a very narrow screen before it does that, you can get blank space down here below that. So I've sort of learned by doing this, it's probably best not to put, if you're putting a text alongside an image, don't give it a background color, because it highlights the fact that the things, it doesn't, when you've got narrow there or very wide, it does highlights a problem that is, it doesn't look very balanced.
Because on that size screen that you had just now, Chris, that size, yeah, the text actually bleeds outside of the colour background, doesn't it?
It does, yes, it does. Yeah, and then you end up with loads of it on the if you have a widescreen. So I think it's best not to do that. But obviously, once you get to the phone, where the phone puts every column one below the other. So although it's a single block, it'll have up to three. It looks like on the phone is it's having 3 blocks, and it's just hopefully an easier way to view it. So okay, right. Let's go back to let's just do a little bit more with some images here. Let's go back into admin site.
If in this instance you put the picture inside the text box, would that get rid of that problem?
Could do. Let's. You mean have a single item and and include the item inside it? Yes. Right. Okay. Let's just change it to do that. So summer fair, text 1. So what now? So now we've got 2. So we'll end up with only one text, with only one column, and that column will be there. And now we're going to mix. We're going to have both. We're going to have an image in here and also have some text. And now we'll put 102 there and update it. So basically what happens now is that the image you show as included will take up 40% of the width. But the advantage of mixing it this way is that if you have more text than the height of the image, it will wrap round. And so if for instance, I'll just repeat it again.
Could you somehow highlight the image and ask it to float right?
Yes, you can do that by there. This little checkbox there.
Do
the checkbox and the update, and it will float it right. And so
right.
then it will wrap the text around it. So you definitely do it that way.
What will happen on the mobile site when that happens?
Yes, so that's so what happens is that because you can only use 40% of the thing, the image will get quite small.
Right.
Whereas on the other one, it will stay the full width. So that, yes, that's an issue. Right, well, I'll leave it like that for the moment. Then let's just put in some images on their own. So I have 3 here. No headings at the moment. I'll leave them equally spaced at the moment. So we just have an image. You can associate links with these images if you wish to, which is what this one was defaulting to. If they click on that and then put a link there, if somebody clicks on that particular image, it will take them to the website you put here. Or and obviously you can put a link into your own system there as well if you want to. But I won't for the moment. So I'll take column 2 out, and I just make it an image, and make that 103. Sorry, 103. And then I'll put another one in there, image 104. Take that out. Right. So one of the issues here is that we got different size pictures and try to look. So that looks quite ugly in terms of you've got a long thin one and the other one sort of normal size. What you can do here is to play around with the width of the columns to try and straighten these up a little bit. So if we reduced the middle size one and increased the 2 outside ones to say 40-40, I think 40-40-20 might not work. It might be too much. So select the width of column 1, it's 40%. Then select column 2 at 20%. Then the third one knows how wide it has to be. It will be 40% as well. So if we update that, so that's not quite. Yes, that's a little over a little too far. You can just make that down to maybe 39, and so that would be 22. There we go. So you. By doing that, then that will then be consistent on all the widths. So as you make it wider or thing, it will make the same height. So by playing around with the size of the images, you can actually make them look use the same height, and therefore I think just make the whole thing neater. So while you've got images here. You obviously, by default, you get the square image or the square edged image, but you can put corners on them. You can put a shadow behind them as well if you want to. So we do that, and make them look as though there's that sort of 3D look a little bit there. So if we return now.
Chris, how would you make a scrolling set of images?
I'll come to that in a short while.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So yes. So we return back to there, and then we'll return, and we'll export that to 16 again. And now we know where to look for it. Information, image from G Drive.
How would you change the text of images from G Drive?
You do that because that's what was done. Right, I'll go back and I think that's how it was set up in we go to side menu. 16. Good question. Well, it must be. I know. I feel I remember now. Yeah. Yes. I've not got. So if we go to extra page 16, can't see it at the moment. Here it is. An image from G Drive is here. So if you've set up an entry here when you update the additional web page inside systems details, then that's what you end up with. It overrides what was there before. So hopefully now, if we go to systems details, and horizontal menu, extra page 16. Extra page 16 is now showing. So
so you're going to go back and change that menu item, have you?
I've now got to go back to the side menu and go back to extra page 16 and now put in here, what do we have? Summer fair, didn't we?
But basically that was previously named and it just retained that previous naming.
I've used it for something else, and then
yes.
So now if we go into member site link, yeah, showing position 616 at the moment. So that's shouldn't say 16. Come on. I'll have to look at that later. Yes, there's a sequence in which you've done. I've done it in the wrong sequence, and so I'll put it right. So, right, okay. So that sort of takes us through, setting up the web page. There are lots of things.
Is there any way of removing that bottom horizontal line between the first bit and the second bit, if the pictures are related to it?
The horizontal line is there as a divider between the
so
you don't like it?
So presumably you could then just add those images into that block.
Yeah, well, there's no reason why the horizontal line was there as a it was originally there as a sort of guidance in terms of there. But if you don't want it there, I'd pick it out. If you don't.
Yeah, if you look on a phone, when you get sometimes 2 or 3 columns in a block, you get the horizontal line coming after 3, sometimes after 2. And sometimes not at all if you've got 3 blocks in one column, if you know what I mean. Oh, sorry, 3 columns in one block.
I don't think. You're saying that the horizontal line? Are you talking on the phone, or
if you've got a block with 2 columns.
Yes.
With 2 different items.
Yes.
When you come on a phone, they go underneath each other, but there's no horizontal line then. And then the next column, next block, has the horizontal line, and then.
So
you know what I mean?
Now the phone here, you've got.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's after each block, the horizontal line comes out. So you're saying because you've got 3 different sections to it, you're not having them between the images here. But
Yeah.
right. Look, there's no reason to have it, and if people don't want it, I'm happy to take it out.
But you can always put your own horizontal line wherever you want it anyway, if you feel you need it.
Yeah. I'll take it out if you want to. Righto. Okay. Right. So
can I, if that page you used additional page 16
yeah.
as a trial, can you then reallocate that page to say a home, to make it a home page, or do you have to recreate it? So
no,
you
no.
can. You can. Oh, good. Right.
So all you do is if we now want to make the summer fair the home page. So we're back to here, and we just sort of go to. So at the moment there are three logged in pages, and oh dear, 3 logged in. Oh, you can't see the drop down, can you?
No.
No. Right. Okay. Yeah. So if I want to make that the home, the members,
the visitors homepage, I wanted to make it the page that everybody will see when they first come to the site.
Right. Okay. I've done that. Okay. So now if we go back to the member site and log out.
Great. Magic. Thank you.
So it's, so you can just put them wherever you like, and then you can just overwrite. So if we now go and have a look at go back. Oh, I can log in first. Yeah, log in. And go back to the admin site.
Presumably, if you do that, though, Chris, you would end up with extra page 16 looking exactly the same as the logged out members page.
Indeed, yes. So then you can turn off extra page 16.
You'd free up extra page 16 and just blank everything out of it.
Yes.
Or change it to something different.
Or just turn it off. I mean, you can turn it off in the horizontal menu. You can turn it off in the side menu, and it just isn't shown anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
So it'll sort of. So just to sort of say, there's nothing to stop you once you've gone into 16 to actually once you've loaded into 16, go into the old additional web page, and you can update it in the text editor if you want to. Or sometimes you might want to, because the text editor can change things. You can use the non-tiny update as well to change, and then you're then looking at the HTML, and you can change it there, or you can also obviously go into tools, into the web thing, and change it. If you want to tidy up something, or you can change that there as well. And so it's always sitting in the additional page 16 until you overwrite it for something else. But so if you want to do some sort of very fine tuning on it, then you can go to additional page 16 to do it. Alternatively, you can also do it inside with the web creator as well. You've obviously got the text editor.
Chris, when I use the text editor,
say again, sorry.
When you use the text editor, if you go into the source, the tiny one.
Yeah. When you go,
you want to do it yourself from the admin page.
You want to do a change to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we go to systems details and additional page 16.
No. And if you go into the source code at the top, I wanted to change the width of one of the, and it was the very first bit which I changed, which worked.
So sorry, I didn't get the start of that. You wanted to change?
Okay, it's something that comes before the block start. I think it was something to do with the width on one of the lines I was doing.
Yeah.
So I changed it, which worked. But when I did another update, not doing it that way, but doing it via the normal way, it lost that update.
Yes. When you exported it out of the website creator into the equivalent of additional page, yes, you would lose it. In fact, yes. So the way to retain something is to do it inside the web creator, because any text changes there, you're obviously more limited to what you can actually do in so if we go into here and go into I clicked on the wrong thing, sorry. Clicked on the summer fair, and then you go into the text. Clearly you can make changes in here to the text. You know, you can suddenly sort of, if you wanted sprinkle magic and you wanted to make
if, for example, if you go into the ticker, I don't know if it's possible to change the actual width of the box rather than
so go into the ticker.
Yeah, well, you can't change that from where you are now.
No, and here you can go there.
Yeah.
Right.
What you could do if you went back into the source on the original admin page, perhaps. But if you do it there, you lose it.
If you do it here, you won't.
Yeah, not on the source code of the blocks, on the source code of the page.
This is on the source code in the web creator. So if you want to, you wanted to sort of make the this bold or
well, no, not that. No, not a bit. The actual, you have to come further out from that. It's the page itself, the width of the box. If you look at the ticker.
Okay. The width of the
height of the box itself, not the words on the actual. Because sometimes on a phone it looks rather wide.
Can you go to the ticker block? I think that's what he's asking about.
Yeah, this is the ticker block here.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. So can you look at the source code? Can you look at the source code a minute? Is that,
it's not the source.
Where's the HTML for it?
That's it. There isn't any.
I see. So, right, because I must say, on my home page, I just, for my current page, I just copy and pasted the HTML because it's got the, so I could adjust it and play around with it rather than using this.
Yes, yeah. You could do those things. You can play around anything you like, and change it. So if we look at the systems details, page 16, and you look at the source. There is the ticker.
Yeah, so it's 100% wide, the ticker tape, isn't it?
Yes.
And
you wanted to change it, reduce it, did you?
Yeah, the height. Not well. You could do it if you wanted to do the width, yeah, and the height as well.
When you say you want to change, you obviously didn't want to make it less wide, then, did you?
Less high.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you change the font size then, wouldn't you?
But you've still got the space it's using on the actual page.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're with
there would be a way to do it. What I'll do is because there's the class that's mentioned here has got some CSS associated with it. Inside which, so you can override that by putting it in here, but I'd have to look to see where it is, what it's actually doing.
Tried that not on a ticker box, but just something a box on its own that had a link. It's the message board box. So I did a link from somewhere, just go straight to the message board. And you could change the height of the actual strip that goes across, as you would do there. But if you do it there, you then lose it later on.
You would. That's right. You would lose it. You'd lose it if you came back to update the page again.
Yeah.
Chris, given that standard of font size is it 16 pixels on the web?
There is the standard size is there's a standard U3A size, isn't there? Which the website's set to use. I can't remember what it is now.
Yeah, because you're using. So what is the base standard for this? Because I just noticed that you're using 1.2 EM for the ticker.
Yes, to me, yes, and that wasn't enough, was it?
No, but I mean, I was just wondering, is there a, because I'd like, if there is a base size for text on the website, then I can then adjust using EMs to adjust it if I want to.
Yes, there is a standard which is set up at the start, which I can't remember what it is, but I can let you have it if you like.
Oh, great, magic.
Because it's a standard font as well.
Yes, that damn Sans or something.
Yeah, certainly Sans something or other. Yes.
DM Sans.
DM Sans. But what I don't understand is when I download it and start using it, my A isn't the same. Or am I using the wrong A?
You have to go. Oh goodness me, this is hard to explain. If you're doing it, oh God, if you're doing it in a Word document, you have to go in and pick up. I can't remember. The A is one style and the 3 is another style. It is not the standard DM Sans. Who the idiot was on U3A as a national body that picked DM Sans as their blimmin' default font needs taking out, standing up against the wall and shooting, because it's it's not even a standard font in most packages. You have to download the blasted thing.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, we use Arial.
Exactly. Why not use something like Arial? Why pick on DM Sans and then even change the style set?
Yeah, no, I like Comic Sans MS. I think it's lovely.
Maniacs at blimmin' U3A headquarters.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it'd be useful, Chris, if you could. That'd be great.
I will. I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. So one thing I'm going to just show you is it's not a slider. This is I think much easier and nicer than a slider. It's a gentle, soft change between images. Which there's a bit of coding which which I'll stick on the G drive that you can download if you want, which you just incorporate into the source thing, and you can have something like this, and you can alter the amount of time it takes between the image displays. I think this is set at 6 seconds at the moment.
When I was playing with these, because I play a lot, Chris, when I was playing with these and I found a carousel that worked in W3 schools, and it works absolutely fine, but you said you have a preference for using this one with the code that goes with this. Was there a technical reason for using this one? Is it that the one I found in W3 schools is liable to, excuse my French, bugger the system up?
No. The one that you found was very sharp. In other words, it went to the new image. There was no change.
Which personally I quite like, but hey ho.
Oh, right, okay. I thought it was horrible, which is it's sort of So anyway, these things come out of space, don't they?
I like things that are brutalist. I like brutalist art.
Okay, all right, fine.
You want all in concrete, do you? So presumably this can be at the top of the page, can it?
Anywhere you like. Oh, at the top. You mean in the banner here?
Yeah.
It already is. It's pre-set.
Is it? Okay, that's fine. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's already set for the banner, but you can put this scroller, slider, whatever the devil you want to call it, you can put it in any block that you require within any page setup.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just incorporate it into yes, as you say, any column or block that you fancy changing. Yes, I think you put it in. You've actually put it in a column in a block, haven't you, Alan?
I have. Yes.
Yeah. So as you can hear, there are a number of ways of skinning this particular cat. So if you want to send me yours, Alan, I'll send them both out, and so people can choose.
I'll show you mine if you'll show me yours.
I'll put mine at the top. Right. Okay. So that's I think a run round the website creator. Have I missed anything on the?
Just one thought on the website creator. If you give lots of people the ability to create content, you don't know whose is whose. So I think it might be ideal if somebody puts their initial before or after the name of the page as it's been blocked. So if a website creator comes in and they can see whose pages they're messing about with.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Well, we could actually just include maybe another column in there with the initials of or an ID or something where people can put that in, can't they? So yeah. So you can say, yeah, I think that's well.
Have you thought of putting the page author in the footer?
Sorry, put the page what? Sorry.
Page author in the footer.
Oh right.
Because if you happen to be looking at the page, it's outside, and then you in the footer there's the page, because that's what I tend to have the title of the site and then the page author and such like as a bit of information. Mind you, it's mostly my name because I'm the one that does most of it, but I just thought it was just another option, because otherwise you can log into the system to see the initials, whereas somebody could just be viewing the page, they can see the.
From a sort of privacy point of view, it might be an idea to put the web page name on the bottom of the page, and then they could come in here and those who are authorized to do so can see who's created.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can put that in.
I think your idea of on this page that we're looking at now, I think your idea of having a column there that could put in who it is that's authored the thing, so the creator, as it were, is quite a good idea, because that would stop. Let's say we've got, I don't know, one person doing extra page 16, and it's specific to their part of the U3A, and then you've got someone else doing extra page 14, and it's specific. It saves the one that's doing 14 mistakenly going into 16, hopefully, and changing it, because once they change it, well, all right, fair enough, they can't update it, but can you get back?
Can you get back?
Yeah, let's say, for instance, you've got extra page 20 there and summer fair, okay? So one person does extra page 20 and one person does summer fair. But the person that does extra page 20 mistakenly goes into summer fair and alters the content, because they both got content access, okay? So they've changed summer fair and said to the administrator, can you publish this? And you go, no, you've done the wrong page. Can I then, as the administrator, go back into summer fair and regain what was in there previously? I think the answer is no.
Maybe they shouldn't have named it extra page 20.
Let me just tell you. Sorry.
Go on.
Let me tell you, when you, let's say, publish the summer fair, and you publish it to whatever you want to publish it to,
you get a couple of seconds to withdraw from it. I know that.
Yeah, well, you get forever. I mean, the thing is that you can withdraw on it as long as you don't change the page. You can leave it there for an hour if you want to, and then come back later and do it.
Yeah, but you've got to stay on this page, haven't you?
You have to stay on the page. But the point being that it's recording that somewhere else.
Right. But what I was asking, Chris, was someone's gone in and changed the content of some affair mistakenly. Someone who shouldn't have even touched that blooming page, and the person who really owns some affair doesn't want to have to write it all again. But the person who's mistakenly done it has changed all of the content. I don't think there's any way for me to get back the author of the real Some Affair, their content. Is there? Or is there?
There is not.
No.
Well, there is not an automatic way. I mean, you know, that would have to be pretty extreme. Somebody goes in and changes somebody else's without, and they can't change it back. But you know, as with all data in this system, it's all backed up on a daily basis.
Everything's possible. Some things take a little longer. That's why I'm thinking that a column with name, initials, membership number, whatever, on this page will be handy, because it's an extra. Please don't touch this page because it's not yours, you fool.
Yes. Yeah. No.
Would it be possible to perhaps set it so that the owner of some affair owns it, and then nobody else can change it because their initials don't match? Oh no, because somebody could have two people could have the same initials. Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah, and then the point is the administrator has got to have overall rights to change anything.
Yeah.
So I think no data is absolutely lost. You know, if anything is that important and that crucial, then I can always recover it for you if you need.
But as is always said, you can't legislate for stupid.
No, you can't. That's true. Yes.
But I mean, what we're going to do, or what I'm intending doing, is where you've got that web page name, I'm going to make it relatively obvious that this is to do with newsletter, or this is to do with, I don't know, anything else you can think of. So that when the newsletter editor goes in, if they want to change the header of the newsletter page, they know this is to do with newsletter. Whereas if the, I don't know, an events coordinator went in there and wanted to change something to do with, as Chris uses, the Some Affair, it will be Some Affair page.
Yeah.
We're going to try and make it fairly obvious in the naming of the web page.
Yes. And just to add to that, the web pages, these web pages are shown in alphabetic sequence. But if you want to change the way these are sequences, you can obviously stick a number on the front of them yourself and the name. And it will, so, you know, if you want to sectionalize it and say, well, these are all in section 1 and these are section 2 and section 3, then that is a way, obviously, of changing the sequence here, in which case the way it will be shown, which I know some people, I know Richard, I think, has already done. He's numbered all his.
Can you identify which pages have been used? Like you've chosen page 16 for Some Affair.
Yep.
And then along comes somebody else who goes and sees page 16, thinks it's free. How do you protect it from being reused? Because you can't see it from this page.
No, you can't. That's true. But the only person who can do that is the administrator, and therefore they should know which ones have gone into which page. It's not available to the content person to be able to put this into. They can't make the change here, put it into 16.
Yeah, they can't publish. That's part of what our naming scheme is going to be. I mean, we're going down the route of using them as additional pages rather than extra pages. So the name of the page would start with AP14, AP15, AP16, and then newsletter afterwards, or event afterwards, or whatever.
Okay, there's no other way. Even the administrator can't actually determine it unless it's spelled out.
No. If the administrator doesn't know where that's gone, then and the problem is that it might have been gone to 3 different pages.
Right.
So it's not. So it's not like just sort of putting a default line in saying, oh well, it went to additional page 16. But
Right.
it's on to 14 and 12 at various times. So you could put the latest one up there, I suppose. If that was,
It would be nice to right click on Summer Fair and it tells you what it was originally called, like Extra Base 16.
yes. Okay. Well, or
Something like that.
yeah, maybe it'd just be better to just have it in the
Yeah.
the list somehow. Because people are doing it on a tablet. They don't get a what do they call it?
Right click.
Well, yeah, I don't know what we get if we get a right click.
I don't know, Chris, if the page will be wide enough there because we're in the admin site and you've got the menu down the left-hand side. Is the page wide enough to take a column to show who the person is that has updated it and a column to show what the page was originally called? Is there enough room there? I don't know that there would be.
No.
What's the column of numbers? Is that the blocks?
That's the number. That's the number of blocks that are in this on this page for this page.
Is that? I'm just wondering whether you could use that space, because is that really of value? Alan, what do you think? You've been using this far longer than we have. Do you need to know the number of blocks in that page?
It's very useful to quickly identify those pages that have no information on at all.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Well, sorry, if they've got nothing in there, what's the page for then?
Well, I suppose
you could delete it, but you make sure that if you use the red X on the right-hand side, you know that you're going to delete some information because there's 2 blocks or 3 blocks or 11 blocks or whatever. But if you don't,
Whereas if it's a 0, you can merrily click the red X and not do any damage.
That's right.
But I'm looking at you could possibly move the pen and paper and the red cross left or right to create presumably space for a column.
Yeah, I'm sure this would create some space. Yes. Do most of you use a desktop to do this, or are you using I don't know, a tablet or whatever to create this?
No, I wouldn't dream of using a tablet.
Laptop every time.
Yeah.
Laptop or desktop. Yeah.
Keyboard.
Right, because if we can do that, then what we can do is to put this not the right click there, but I just can't remember what it's called. The sort of
a hover.
If you have it is a hover, but it's called something else. It comes out with a. Let me show you. I'll go into systems detail. Oh, you might not be able to see it, but hang on. Let's have a look. See if I go into any one of these systems details, let's say instructor costs or something, you get the little box up on the side. Can you see that?
No.
I mean like a comment box.
Yeah.
You can't. No. Sorry, you can't see it.
We can't see it, but I know what you mean.
There's a bit of text there which comes up if you hold it over there. And it says set if instructor costs can be used in groups and it's been switched on. So that might be the solution, because you can do that with a desktop or a laptop. Anything that you're using a sort of mouse around, you can use it to show information there. So that might be the way to solve this. You could actually put the name of the person in, because there's enough space to put the person's name in as well. Because it can be the whole width of the screen if you want it to be.
So that would hover and it would say additional page 16.
Yeah. So if we went into if we now hover on the hang on. So if I hover on Summer Fair,
yeah.
It'll show a box over it which will say updated by. And could also show where it was sent to, I guess.
See, I'm concerned that someone else comes in and needs an additional page and just goes and takes 16 without knowing that it's already been assigned.
But they won't actually, they will create a page which won't be assigned to anywhere until such time as you, as administrator, assign it to a page.
Well, he may make a mistake, but
What do you mean? Administrators are meant to be infallible.
you don't rely on pages of text. You need to see real info.
Yeah, so we could do that and show the information about who's had it and who's updated it if that's you know, I suppose if this is going to be fairly widely shared by sort of several people within the your U3A, then it's valuable to know who's updated it and maybe and when.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we're certainly going to have about 6 or 7 people with creator authority.
yeah, right. Okay. So I'll add something there, and then you can have a look at it and see if it fulfills your needs.
Okay.
Chris, on that, if you had something that shows who updated it, what happens if historically it's been updated a few times? Would it only be the last user that's updated it?
It would be the last time. Yeah, it would just keep a record of who's updated this last. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
So a couple of things that we haven't talked about is the buttons. There's a feature in here for including buttons, and that it starts in systems details. Zoom behind them. There they are. There we go. So you can create buttons of a color with a link attached to it, with a background color, with some anchor text, which is basically that's the thing that's in the middle of the button, and the text color.
How do you refer to a link, an internal link?
If you want an internal link, well, you're probably the safest way in terms of internal, particularly since we've got the format and the is to put the full URL of the internal link. So in other words, if you wanted, let's just go to I don't know, committee page here.
You've got one there, Chris. The second one down.
What, local events?
Go back to the buttons page.
Oh, I'm going back to buttons. Sorry, back to buttons.
If you look at the second one down, that's got the full HTTPS peterborough3a.org.uk / whatever the devil it goes to.
Yes. So yes, it goes to your forms page. Yes.
Yeah, but you do need the full HTTPS, even for your own site.
Yeah. So you name these buttons whatever. I've just named them colours, but you name them whatever you want to, and then you use that name inside Web Creator to put a button in there. So let's just if we go back to our old friend the Summer Fair, and then the text one, and we want to update there. So having set the button up, which I didn't, but I'll just assume I did. If you want to include the button, you go to Insert and go to the templates. And in the templates, you've got the names of them, which are the colours which I had. So if we're using Alan's Forms one, then you get the thing there. Now, that doesn't stop you changing it. For instance, this you can, if you wanted to put. No, you can't actually. You can't actually.
You can only do that from within source code, Chris.
Yeah, you can. You can only change the source code. That's true. Yeah. once you put it in there, it's in there. So I think you can change the size of the text, if I remember rightly. Yeah. So
again, I don't know if you can do it from there. Oh yeah, you can. Ooh.
Yeah, and I think you probably change the color as well if you wanted to. Got the wrong thing, I think. No, you can't. You can't change the color. No. So yeah, but you can certainly change the size of it there, because it looked to me actually it looked a bit big to me. So when
if you go to the buttons page and you redefine one of the buttons, and then you come to your document and you insert it.
Yep.
And then you go back to the buttons page again and redefine the same button as something else and insert it again. Do you get two similar looking buttons, but they are actually different because they point to different places? Or
yes.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
So once you've copied it into the text, it's there. It doesn't use the buttons section anymore. So they're there. So you can have as many buttons as you like.
In the buttons page, you can redefine a button again and again and again, but you don't overwrite the buttons that you've already used in specific blocks and pages and what have you. They remain the same.
Wonderful, thank you.
Right, and obviously in these, the other thing that's in the templates here is the message block and the context block. So what in the admin site at the moment, and if I sort of go back there, at the bottom down here, if you've got it switched on, which I haven't got it switched on, you've got I'm surprised I haven't got it switched on, but I don't think I have. You have the message summary, which is an option that you can have on up below the thing. Now, if you want that in the, I don't know whether anybody uses the summary, but if you want that in the new website, then you choose that by create. Well, in this summer fair, we'll just create a new block. Not very relevant, but we'll call it 25, 254. So we just have. So if this block here, we'll take this out completely, and then we'll insert the template. And we'll insert the message block. So all that will do, we'll do that at this stage, and so
do it as 2 blocks, Chris, and make the second one the contacts.
I could do. All right. Okay. Right, so
you might want to change the colour of the background there, Chris. That'll be quite garish with an orange background.
I could do. Well, I'll change it to white. I'll change them both to white. I think probably the better with white anyway. But what I have done is taken out the headings so that you can put your own headings. So if you want to put a heading in, put it in the text here.
Text color needs to be something other than white on white.
Indeed. We'll make it black then. And then We'll just call it that for the time being. And then, so, I've left an image in there. So, text. And we don't want those headings either. I put all these defaults into on the assumption that it would be easy to have something there to change rather than have a completely blank thing. But maybe once everybody gets comfortable with it, maybe a blank one might be better, mightn't it?
Yeah, as it stands at the moment, Chris, when you're creating things, it's a lot of taking stuff out rather than putting things in. But you can, they're there by default, and it's easier to take them out than try and program them in yourself.
So the answer to the question was, I'm not quite sure what you said there.
I would agree with you. Initially, leave them in there, but the further down the route we get, as people get comfortable with it, maybe it would be an option to take them out.
Okay. Well, it was right. So now it's put this thing in here. So whatever you've got in your U3A contacts or whatever you call it will come out here with their email address, their name, and their positions. So as you didn't have it, it's not. That's the way you can get it anyway. And you can change it. You can actually make it. You can make the whole text bigger and all sorts of things. You can have a background to it, as we saw. I think the message summary is not there because obviously I think all my messages have expired, so there's nothing in the message thing to show. But it would come out here looking the same type of thing.
Chris, on the web creator page, you've got that column of things that say select page to update. The big column.
Yep.
Why don't you make those selection bits where it says select page to update? Why don't you say there, this is page 16, or put page 16 on there because that's the one it's been associated with. Otherwise, you can put not associated. So it says select page 16 to update because that's the one that's been previously assigned.
Yes, but I thought what we'd sort of agreed was we'll put the page 16 on the
right, but you're looking for space to put it somewhere, and you've got
space. It's going to be there. If you hover on it, you'll get a box which will come over the top, which will say currently stored or last stored to additional page 16.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you were to put it in the box, what was brought up, well, blimey, ages ago, right at the beginning, and I can't remember who it was, if you wanted to change, Chris created Summer Fair, and somebody said, could we then make Summer Fair the opening page, the logged out opening page? If you put that detail in that this is extra page 16, would you then be able, from what you're suggesting, Chris, would he be able to change it to logged out page?
Yeah. No, I think it's just. I think what was being suggested was you put it in that box is what the last one that was left to. If you want to, if you click on it to actually do it again, or you select it to go to somewhere else, I guess.
Yeah. If you click it, you get the full list. But by default, it would say not associated or not assigned. Otherwise, it says what it's assigned to.
Yeah, well, I think that information will. I'll try and put it out on the I can't remember what they're called, but the hover display.
Okay, we'll try that. Yeah.
And if that gives you everything you should need, and then hopefully that will be okay, and it'll say who as well, and it'll give a bit more information.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So I think probably. I've gone through pretty much everything. Does anybody think I've missed anything? Does anybody think that they want to ask or suggest?
It sounds like you're getting a big fat no, Chris, so I'll make a statement. Guys, Chris, I don't know when it was, where are we today? Monday. I think it was Saturday or yesterday. Chris sent out that blooming great document that I've compiled. I will apologise. I will apologise now. I've got to sit down because where it says see figure 16, figure 16 isn't what I'm pointing you at in some cases. It should be figure 18 or whatever. I've got to change the text to match the correct figures.
Don't you mean additional page 16?
Well, quite possibly, but the as I say, the text doesn't always match up with the pictures that are in the document as well. I've got to go through and do it. Don't show everybody. I can see that on my screen now.
Actually, I've got a question about the document, and thanks very much, Alan, for doing it, because it's hopefully people will find it very helpful.
Look, hang on a minute. I didn't come here to answer questions. You're setting me homework now.
Indeed. Well, no, you should be able to know it straight away. In the overview, you said it's recommended the reader also refer to members site format WebPage's members guide. What's that?
I haven't sent them out to you yet. I don't know. I did some initial documents purely for Peterborough U3A, and I started this off purely for Peterborough U3A, but you then hijacked it.
I did, yes. I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll have a look at that, and I'll have a look at the other documents that I started putting together and see if I can make sure they are fit for everybody's use rather than just Peterborough U3A. And if they are, I'll bang the whole suite of documents out to you, Chris.
Righto, and I'll stick it up in the G drive for everybody to.
Well, thank you very much.
Well done, Alan. Thanks very much for that. Right. Okay. Well, it looks like the conference call software worked all right. Now we've got to find out whether the recording has worked all right. So if nobody wants to ask anything more, thank you very much all for coming. And
if the recording has worked out right, Chris, are you going to ask me to edit it and get rid of all the ifs and buts, or are you just going to publish it naked? Please say. There's
a lot of ums and ahs in there. But,
please say the second one.
Okay, I'll put it up as it is, because it's yeah. I'm sure people will put up with the ums and ahs. All right.
Well, thanks, Chris.
Okay. Thank you very much, all. Cheers then.
Cheers,
Bye.
Chris. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.